Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to create the Azure Cosmos DB account for our project. In order to do that, you come over to the Azure portal and select Create a Resource from the top left menu here and search for Cosmos DB, and let's pick Azure Cosmos DB and let's click Create. As we discussed before, Cosmos DB offers 5 different APIs starting from the core or the NoSQL API, which is the default API. And then you've got the MongoDB API, Cassandra API, Table API, and the Graph for the Gremlin API. Amongst this one lead the core or NoSQL API, and the MongoDB API supports Synapse Link. So we need to choose one of these two for our demo, and I'm going to go for the core NoSQL API, which is the default API in Cosmos DB. So let's click Create here. Let's fill in the details here to create the Cosmos DB account. Choose your subscription. Let's now pick the resource group. I'm going to pick the same one we've been using for all our resources for this course, which is the Learn Synapse Step-by-Step RG. And we need to give an account name again. I'm going to use Learn Synapse Step-by-Step Cosmos DB. So this name has to be unique. It's available for me, but when you come to do it, it won't be available because I might be using it. So pick a unique name here, and we need to pick a location. So I'm going to choose UK South. And now we need to pick the capacity more. There are 2 options there, as you can see. One is the provision throughput, which will give you a consistent performance throughout. So you choose the throughput and then that tastes the same throughout. Or you can go for the serverless, which gives you the auto-scale abilities. So we're going to go for the smallest RU anyway? So I'm going to go for the provision throughput here, and this is quite important. So Microsoft allows you to have a free Cosmos DB tier in every subscription for one of the Cosmos DB accounts, and that allows us to use up to 1000 RU and 25 gigabytes of storage for free. So I would encourage you to apply for that, and that's more than sufficient for doing our course. So please select Apply for the free tier discount. Total account throughput as ticked, and we can accept the defaults for all others here, which is the global distribution, networking, backup policy, and encryption. And let's click on Review plus Create. And the validation has succeeded here. It takes the estimated account creation is 2 minutes, but usually takes between about 4 to 5 minutes. Let us click Create. And let's wait for the deployment to complete. The deployment is now completed. So let's click on Go to Resource, and that may take us to this page here. Let me click on Overview to find out whether I have got the free tier account. As you can see here, free tier has been applied to our Cosmos DB account. So we get the first 1000 RUs and the 25 gigabytes of storage for free for the lifetime of this account, which is great. I want to walk you through a couple of other things here. Estimated cost. So when we start running queries and starting data, you begin to see all of that in here. So you may want to keep an eye on that. And if you wanted to access the Cosmos DB account using the UI right, you've got the UI right here, and if you had enabled multi-region support, you will see the other regions here as well. But our customer DB account is reading and writing is live from UK South at the moment. And let's switch to the menu here. Let me walk you through a couple of things, and let's go to cost management first. And as you can see here, we got a few options to control the cost so that you can say, I want to limit the request to units for all databases in this account to a certain RU. It's been set to 1000. And you've also got another option here because it's a free tier account. By clicking here, it's going to limit the use to 1000 use per second. This would have done exactly the same thing, but you've got the option to add the values here. But by clicking this, you're going to be guaranteed that there will be no additional charges in this customized DB account for you. So I would highly encourage you to do that in a production project, and you want to let things run even if it exceeds a certain throughput. You want to click on the No Limit. Let's now move on to integration, which is the reason why we're here. This is where you can enable Azure Synapse Link. As you can see here at the moment, Synapse Link's being turned off. So we go to Enable Azure Synapse Link tab, and here we click Enable button to enable Synapse Link. So whenever we create a container within the Cosmos DB account, we can say that we want both the transactional store and the analytical store. So this is currently running. So let me click on the notifications. As you can see, it's enabling at the moment. It takes a couple of minutes, so you may want to wait until you do the other things. So let's wait for that to happen. And as you can see here, the Synapse link has now been enabled too. So let me close that. And as you can see, the status here is account enabled as well. So now that the setups link is enabled, whenever we create a container, we'll have the option to enable the analytical store alongside the transactional store. So that's the end of this session. In the next session, I'll show you how to create a database in Cosmos DB and add data to the database.